So let's talk about Virgil, Robert. I mean, he's been so close to being a breakout star. You know, he's like at 140, he was so close to getting a title shot. Then he gets to 147, and then obviously he gets sick. Is dealing with his illness and everything. And he's just been, he has so much talent. What are you seeing in the gym with him? And does he look as good as ever? Like, assess where he's at right now.
You know what? This camp, he looked much better than the first camp back. Even though even the first fight, his fighting jammer, he had a good camp, but this time was a lot better. The sparring sessions, everything was really good. I think activities was going to keep him going. After this fight, I'm going to ask to bring him back right away in the summer, sometime in July, August, so that way he could fight one more time before the end of the year. I think activities was going to help Virgil what he needs. We were hoping because obviously the sanctioning bodies have the rules, but they also kind of break their own rules. Virgil's number one in the WBA, and the WBA champ when I can't think of his name right now, but he's fighting Crawford now.
Yeah,
he's fighting Crawford. We're supposed to be the mandatory. It was announced that the winner of that fight had to fight the number one, the mandatory, and Virgil was the one. But obviously, like I said, it's a much bigger fight against Crawford, so the champion will rather do that for a huge, bigger payday. The WBA will also like that better, because it's Crawford involved. So we're not mad either. But that was that fight we wanted for the summer. But we actually have to look at different directions. Golden Boy's going to do their job. Rick Meridian will do their job with the sanctioning bodies. Hopefully, we get a title fight with Virgil. But even if we don't, in the next fight or two, I wouldn't even mind if we got an opportunity at 160. Virgil's just a big boy. He's so strong that I wouldn't mind him fighting at 160 either. He feels so good at in his last fight. He made 156 with no problem. So I know he could do 154. So we want a title 154, obviously. But if there was an opportunity, if they called and said, "Look, there's an opportunity for you to fight for the world title 160," I wouldn't mind doing it.
Interesting. So Oscar said to me at Ryan's media day, of course, I had to ask him about Virgil, since he was, here in his backyard. He said after this fight, he's planning to try to get him a title fight. I mean, do you feel like he's ready to take on any of those guys at the top at this point?
I think he is, and the plan was to get, the WBA champion. Now he's fighting Crawford, and it'll be in July. So the winner won't be able to fight probably till the end of the year. Yeah. So I don't know if any other champions are going to be available also, because Fundora just won 2 titles. I don't know if he'll be available, because I'm pretty sure he's looking at maybe at a possible rematch or a fight against Spence or something like that. So I don't know what's going to happen. So that's where we have to wait and see. I know the WBA also does regular champions. So maybe the WBA, since they didn't give us that opportunity against the champion and they gave it to Crawford, well, maybe Virgil could fight for the regular title, which is also as important as any other title. I would love that too. And I'm pretty sure Oscar has a relationship with all the organizations. They could probably pull something off like that, because Virgil was the one, is the mandatory to fight for the title. And if they're choosing to go a different direction, well, then I think rightfully so, Virgil deserves that shot to fight for the regular WBA title.
Yeah, and yeah, you mentioned Crawford. And what about? I mean, I know he'd probably like to get a world title. I talked to before the Fundora Tim Tszyu fight. I talked to Tim Tszyu, and I brought up Virgil, and he had nothing but praise for him and said he would absolutely love to share the ring with them. Obviously, a lot has changed after the bloodbath with Fundora. But what about a all Dallas DFW fight, Spence and Virgil at Cowboy Stadium at Jerry World?
You know what? That would be huge. That would be huge in Dallas. Uh, Aerospace, I think is a very talented fighter. I think the best thing for him is to move up in weight, feel stronger, comfortable. He was a 147 too many years. I think that's what affected him. It would be huge, I would love that. I don't know what Spence's plans are. I don't know if he's already looking into a date anytime soon, but that would be huge. That would be awesome. It would be a huge fight for Dallas, one of the biggest fights ever in Dallas for Dallas, because both fighters are from the same area. So it would be huge. I would love that. That would be unbelievable. Tim Tszyu is also another fight that doesn't have to be for a world title. Tim Tszyu is not a champion anymore, but it would still be a great fight between Virgil and Tim Tszyu. That would be huge, and I wouldn't mind doing that either.
I think that would be an instant classic, Tim Tszyu and Virgil. And Jose, Robert, Jose's obviously been a world champion multiple times, got to the mountaintop, now with Golden Boy left top rank. How much does Jose have in the tank? I know he's fighting a Bartholomew, a veteran. How much does he have left, in your opinion?
You know what? Jose is only 31. He'll be 32 this year, but he's still 31. He's still young. I think what I want to do, and I already talked to Rick and Jose, is keep Jose active also. That's what he needs, activity. In the last 3 or 4 years, he's fought once per year, and I don't like that. I like my fighters to stay active, to stay busy. Virgil's gonna have hopefully 4 fights this year. I think Jose needs to fight at least twice a year. Staying out for so long. Even though I know Jose is a very dedicated person, and even if he's not in my gym, he's training back home, but it's not the same. When you're training for a fight and getting ready, doing some rounds, sparring, mids, and all that, and fighting. That's what I want to do this year, and a few more years, because Jose's 31. He still has a good 5-6 years left in boxing. He's healthy. He's motivated. Now that he signed with Golden Boy, he's excited about his a new chapter in his career. He's motivated. I think this was something that he needed. Golden Boy being the new promoter for him, it just gave him like a new life. Top Rank is one of the best. Top Rank has always been one of the best in boxing. Still is, and will continue doing it. But I think for Jose, it came to the point where he was there too long already, where he needed something new. And now he's getting there with a new promoter. Same thing when he was training with Freddie Roach. I think he got to a point where he got too old and too many years, where he needed something different. When he came to me, he became unified champion and had great wins. Fought for the undisputed title, where we lost, but it was a 6-6 rounds. The knockdowns are the ones that made the difference. So he still had a great performance. I think the new promoter, Golden Boy, is going to bring something new to Jose. So he's very excited to go out there and perform.
Well, I saw Rick, who's the ultimate promoter, put a post out there to Oscar and Eric, Ryan versus Jose, to make that fight. Ryan said he can't get to 140 anymore, but even a catch weight, that would be a firefight.
It would be a great fight. Rick is a great promoter. That's why the first thing he did was right away put that picture of them together, right, and say that's a fight to make. He's a great promoter. He does a great job when it comes to promoting and managing and doing all that stuff. He's great. But, I don't see that happening. I think Ryan knows, and Ryan's team, his attorney, his family, his dad, they know that it's a risky fight. It's too much risk for very low reward, because I think at this point Ryan wants those huge fights. I don't think Ryan is going to take risk of losing where he won't get the most money out of it. I think Ryan is became a superstar, especially after he already was. But after that, this last performance last Saturday, he became a superstar, the face of boxing. I could probably say that. You know, that kid is unbelievable. So he's gonna try to get nothing but huge paydays, you know, 40, $50 million paydays every time he fights.
Well, Oscar said after the fight, he's calling the shots now. So yeah, he is probably the de facto face of boxing.
I think so too.
Yeah.